Hey, what's up, guys? Tukey here, back again with another episode of my Vegas Golden Knights franchise mode series. It is the 2023-2024 season, and we currently find ourselves in the second round of the playoffs. We will be taking on the Vancouver Canucks, a matchup that I can't exactly say I'm excited for because, of course, we ended up getting stuck in the Pacific side of the bracket, which was not good news for us, considering we, along with Vancouver, were both in the top four. LA was the fifth team. Of course, they were eliminated by Vancouver. So we have that going for us, but needless to say, it's going to be a very tough matchup. On the bright side, though, the team is performing at a relatively high level. And I say relatively to be kind of modest about it. We're doing very well. It's just, we know that can end at a moment's notice. Between the top line just having a tremendous first season against Edmonton, Marvin Mason, 5 goals in 7 games. I mean, the second line in general was performing quite well. I'm happy with where the team is right now, although that pressure is there for us to perform. The fourth line we'll keep an eye on. There may be changes there if the Chicago Wolves end up losing. They have a very decisive game coming up. Andrei Vasilevsky, a lot of pressure on him, a lot of eyes on him. He needs to perform. Our big money signing. It's very rare in a series of mine that we go out and get an elite goaltender as opposed to drafting them. A lot of pressures on him. Before we take a look at Vancouver and get things settled, a quick look at the schedule, as that game right there tomorrow night against the Manitoba Moose, that's going to be a big deciding factor. If we lose that game, I'm not going to be against calling up one of the members of our top line in Chicago to potentially replace a struggling Stelio Mattheos and others. Like, there's a couple of guys on that fourth line. Dylan Dubé is another one where their spot isn't exactly secured. We need them to get off to a good start in the series. That said, let's take a look at what we're up against, the Vancouver Canucks, here in round 2. And obviously, that top pairing is horrifying. Taylor Hall, who was over point a game in the first round, and Elias Pettersson. I'm going with Elias Pettersson. I've heard Elias Pettersson. I'm going with Elias Pettersson for now, though. Someone will tell me what it is, and then I'll hear a commentary team say it the wrong way. Who the hell knows? You know who I'm talking about, though. He's a goddamn superstar. And Jonathan Dahlen is the other member of that top line, had 4 points in 6 games. So, yeah, that's scary. Very, very scary. Second line is Bo Horvat with Pablo Beagle. Pablo Beagle, former 7th overall selection in 2021 of the Canucks. And Nikolai Goldobin at an 82 overall rounds out that second line. Interesting. Third line right now is Kasperi Kapanen with Cole Lind and Jake Virtanen. Shotgun Jake Virtanen. Fourth line of Jonas Donskoy with Antoine Roussel and Andre Schuster. So obviously they have an injury on the team, you would expect. We'll get a look at that in a moment. Defensively, that's interesting. Braden McNabb. How much did he end up signing for? Yeah, not as much as I would have thought when we let him go. I thought he'd get over 5, to be honest. He is with Ahmad Cole, who is a former 5th round selection in 2020. Second pairing is Olli Juolevi with Esa Lindell. Third pairing of Justin Schultz and Sammy Vatanen. The goaltender, 92 overall, Thatcher Demko. And I think we have a storyline for this series between Demko and Vasilevsky, both of whom struggled in the first round, yet managed to make it to the second round. Who's going to be able to turn their game around? That's the real question. Simone Dupre and Connor Carrick are healthy scratches. Brock Besser is hurt, which is tremendous news for us. He was on a point-a-game pace. Let's see how long he is out for, because that could be the deciding factor in this series if Brock is out for the remainder of the playoffs. He'll be back July 9th, a broken leg. Then again, I'm going to guess that the point total wasn't what it was, or maybe he did get hurt relatively recently, but yeah, he's out for the rest of the playoffs. So no Brock Besser. That could be exactly what we needed to get the edge on Vancouver. There is, of course, only one way to find out, of course. The only way to find out is to get down to business. So let's do it. Our second round matchup against the Vancouver Canucks. Game 1 on home ice. Let's see how it goes. First period, and we get the early lead. Fotinos with the opening goal of this game. They had the slight edge in shots, but we're up 1-0. Second period, Roach makes it 2. 19 shots to 18. I'm concerned, though. How many times have we seen this go to overtime? How many times have we seen a team of ours just give up 3 unanswered? Vasilevsky, we're looking at you. We need a strong effort here down the stretch, 20 minutes away from taking a 1-0 series lead and defending home ice in this opening game of the series. We are halfway through the third period. Can we hold on? One more goal for insurance would be great, but we might not need it. Robertson gets it, though, and that will do it. Andrei Vasilevsky with a 25-save shutout. 3-0 on the board for your Vegas Golden Knights. Roach with a 2-point night for Fotinos with the game-winning goal way back in the first period. And again, Andrei Vasilevsky, top of the board. And so far, he seems to have answered the challenge of being the one to turn it around. That is a tremendous opening game for us. That said, pressure's on here. The Chicago Wolves looking to make it out of the first round. We're going to jump into this. Can they keep their season alive? They did very well. It would be disappointing to see them fall short here in the first round. Let's see what happens. It's a goal apiece. Fedorov and Jack. Is that Jack Alcock? Is Jack Alcock real? Or was that a generated player? I think that was a generated player. Alcock ties this game up. Second period. Oh boy, Alcock scores again. Right, Chicago. You have 20 minutes to turn this around. Girard has tied it nearly immediately. Well, immediately in terms of sim time. It was 3.5 minutes in. A little bit shorter than that. The next goal could very well win it. Alcock gets the hat trick. And the Manitoba Moose are moving on. A very disappointing end there for the Chicago Wolves. A hat trick there. 32 saves for Capo Kakkonen. And again, a disappointing end of the season for the Chicago Wolves. That does leave us call-up options, including Dominic Verbata. Unfortunately, though, he is hurt. So he will not be an option for roughly 2 weeks. So a very, very rough go of it there for the Wolves. But on the bright side now, we can focus our attention solely on the task at hand with the Knights. Game 2, no need to make any lineup changes yet, and as it is, the fourth line contributed to a goal. We'll see how the team does this time out. First period, it's not too bad. Cole Lind gets the opening goal very early on, 3:25 if you want to be exact. Tate Dwyer was able to tie it, and then Tate Dwyer was able to give us the lead. 13 shots to 12 in their favor, but the 2 goals from Dwyer, the difference thus far. Second period, and there we go. Elijah Lackey has the lone goal, and again, we take a 2-goal lead into the third period. We had the slight edge in shots. Can we hold on? Again, same pressure here for Vasilevsky. We've seen so many 2-goal leads evaporate in the final 20 minutes of regulation. A power play chance went to waste there. An insurance goal would be great, but so far, so good. From Vasilevsky, we might have jinxed it. Jake Virtanen, Russell Clausen gets it right back. 2-goal lead with 4 minutes remaining, and the Vegas Golden Knights get off to a great start. 4-2 final. We take both games at home to start this series. Good stuff. Tate Dwyer, a 3-point night. 32 saves for Vasilevsky and a 2-point effort from Russell Clausen. And again, we have a 2-0 lead, outscoring the Canucks 7-2 over those opening 2 games. But as the series heads to Vancouver, it's going to be tough to say what exactly we can expect here. Can we stay at this ridiculous pace, or will the Canucks get back into it? Again, no lineup changes necessary. Let's get down to business. First period of Game 3, and again, it's a 2-1 lead. Schuster gets the opening goal. Roach was able to tie it, and Russell Clausen with 47 seconds left gives us the lead. 11 shots to 9 in their favor, but 2-1 on the board. A very, very familiar situation here. Second period, that helps. I feel like we're witnessing the same game. I hope so in terms of the result. Roach gets his second goal of the game. It is 3-1. They have the slight edge in shots as we sim through the third period. And again, it's the same situation here. Can Vasilevsky shut the door? 3 straight games heading into the third period with a lead, with a 2-goal lead for that matter. Can he hold on for the third time? Can he go 3 for 3 under 5 minutes remaining? Our offense is dead quiet, and it didn't matter. 3-1, your final score. 32 shots to 24 for the Canucks, but it did not matter as the best version of Andrei Vasilevsky has shown up for this series. 2 goals from Roach, another goal from Clausen, and the Vegas Golden Knights are 1 game away. However, Shea Theodore is looking like he's going to miss a little bit of time. We are 1 game away from the conference final, but our best defenseman did just go down to injury, which puts me in a tough spot to where I don't want to use Adam McQuaid for this. I think for obvious reasons, I'd rather find a defenseman who's a little bit more capable offensively, and I think that would come down to Hatainen. Why I couldn't look at his, there we go, that was super weird. Hatainen as a 2-way isn't terrible. He does have some skating ability. Justice Kane, ooh, Justice Kane. Hatainen's a little bit more ready. We're going to call up Justice Kane, and because I don't want to screw up the power play lines and everything like that, we're going to play Kane in his role, in Theodore's role, that is, at least on special teams. So let's bump up Justice Kane, and I think for the moment, we're going to put Bronstrom over there, and we're going to make... Do we want to make slight changes? Why does that keep happening? What the heck? Okay, let me just back out, I guess. We'll go best lines. I don't understand what's happening there. We'll sim up to the day, see if anyone's back from injury, and that is not the case. Let me take a look one more time here, just to see what the second and third pairings have done in terms of point production, plus minus. And even though plus minus isn't the best stat, but it's one of the few we have to go off of here. Let's take a look. Yeah, they should probably stay together. So we're going to play Justice Kane with Eric Bronstrom. Granted, we could bump them up in terms of Rositas and Norton, but we'll leave it as is. Justice Kane will be making his NHL debut in Game 4 of Round 2 against a very, very good Vancouver team that, in part, because they're on the ropes against Brock Besser, we have a 3-0 lead over them. If the wording there makes sense, I think you get the point. Let's see if we can end this series right here and right now. A better outcome than I think anybody expected. However, as we have seen, reverse sweeps, forcing Game 7s at least, rather common when a team has a 3-0 death grip. First period of Game 4. And there you go, Vancouver, the lone goal. Cole gets it with 28 seconds remaining. Pretty much even shots, but the Canucks have the difference maker. It's 1-0 in their favor. Second period, we get back into it. Fotinos ties it. Horvat restores the lead. Fotinos scores again. The rookie is out of control. 24 shots to 23. 2 all on the board. For the first time in the series, Vancouver doesn't head into the third period trailing by 2. And is that change of pace going to be what they needed? Or can we end this series right here and right now? Braden McNabb with the goal. That could do it. Halfway through the third, is there a late goal to tie it, or are we going back to Vegas for Game 5? Dylan Dubé, Elijah Lackey, 4.5 to go. Is that enough? Eklund makes it 5, and the Vegas Golden Knights send a statement. A statement victory. We sweep the Canucks. 4 unanswered goals in the third period to cap off Game 4. Demko, what happened? They were all from the outside. Dylan Dubé, Elijah Lackey. I think it's Magnus Eklund. It might be. It's not Matthias. I think it's Magnus Eklund. And Nick Suzuki with the empty netter. I talked about that fourth line needing to step up. They did in terms of points. And there you go. Fotinos with a 3-point night, a 2-point night for Dylan Dubé. And once again, so happy to say, we have swept the Vancouver Canucks. That is astonishing. St. Louis and Dallas currently tied at 2 games apiece, so it will be a little bit before we find out just who we're playing next. But Tate Dwyer, 12 points in 11 games. Oh my God, he's one of my favorite players in any series we have going on. God damn. Cody Glass, 8 points in 11 games. Not bad. Was a little bit quiet in that series. 12 points in 11 games for Russell Clausen. Having Dwyer and Clausen on the same line is a cheat code. Marvin Mason, speaking of quiet, no goals in that series, but has 8 points in 11 games. Can't really complain. 7 and 11 for Elijah Lackey. And Goldobin, not a single point. Not a single point in that series. It's another situation where you could be worried about it, but you could also say, we swept them. I don't know why you'd say but you could say, we swept them without Goldobin doing anything. So what happens if he gets his offensive game going? We'll more than likely just steamroll whoever's in front of us. Fotinos, the rookie, again, just crazy. 8 points in 11 games. Nick Suzuki has 11 points in 11 games. And Gregory Roach, 10 points in 11 games as well. Robertson with 3 points. 3 points for Dubé. 2 points for Stelia Mateos. We're looking good. We are looking so good. And this might be, as funny as it is, as early as we are into this quote-unquote new era with this team, with Clausen, with Goldobin, Lackey, Dwyer, this might be our best chance to win already because we haven't had to make that move yet. This upcoming offseason might be where we have to ditch 2 out of 3 between Glass, Suzuki, and Roach, especially if Fotinos is going to put up the points that he is. We know changes are going to have to be coming, especially, too, with the prospects we have coming up. Fedorov, Bembridge, Datsuk's looking about ready, and then, of course, Verbata is the main one. Things are looking good for us. This might be the best chance we have, maybe, in this series to do some damage. And, of course, Andrei Vasilevsky deserves a lot of credit for turning things around. A much better series for him. And we did so without Shea Theodore, which is still pretty ridiculous in my opinion. So on the bright side, we do, of course, sweep Vancouver. It was disappointing to see us lose with the Wolves, but you can't win them all, I do suppose. Let's take a look here. Justice Kane, thanks for the call up. I think you have it in you to stick up here, just not yet, but keep improving, buddy. Yeah, he likes motivation. Adam, don't worry. Everyone goes through rocky patches, buddy. Everyone does. You're great, and I love you. Okay, he doesn't like the kids' approach. I knew that, but still, I don't care. We're off to the next round, and I need you to double down. I need you to double down. Maybe. I don't think they're going to like that, but I need you to double down. Russell Clausen's the only one who's like, damn it, can't we just be happy? No, Russell, you can't be. You can't be happy until we win. Hudson, what's going on? Oh, yeah, we've been on a roll as we got eliminated. Yeah. We can do better. That's my response when we just got eliminated from the playoffs. We can do better. What do we want to say? I need more out of you next year. We had a good season. Be proud of yourselves. Ooh, okay, or don't. Some of you are proud of yourselves, which is a positive. I think I've killed enough time to kind of throw some people off the scent of whether or not it was a sweep or not. Let's move forward. Let's see who it's going to be in the conference final. St. Louis or Dallas, as Shea Theodore is back. And regardless of who we send down, I'm just going to send down Kane. I mean, regardless of who we send down, I mean, he was going to be mad about it anyway. He'll bounce back for next year. He was going to be mad if I left him as a healthy scratch, right? So there's really not a whole hell of a lot we could do. But getting Shea Theodore back is very promising. So that's good. St. Louis takes the lead. In the East, Pittsburgh awaits the winner of Tampa and Toronto. Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Who will it be? Dallas forces Game 7. Pittsburgh and Tampa is the conference final in the East. As Shea Theodore's back to 100%. Who will it be? Drum roll, please. Place your bets now. 3, 2, 1. In the conference final, we will be taking on the St. Louis Blues. And we will have home ice advantage for that series, of course. So again, it's Tampa and Pittsburgh, St. Louis and Vegas. We find ourselves in the conference final. New era or not, the addition of Andrei Vasilevsky, the development of our prospects has gotten us back to this point already. But are we ready for this spot? After surviving against Edmonton, winning in 7, we sweep Vancouver. But do we have what it takes to beat the St. Louis Blues and make it to the Stanley Cup final? We will find out in the next episode. For now, I thank you very much for watching. You know the deal. Support the video with the likes and the comments and the subscriptions and the bells and the stuff. Check out everything in the description if you have not already done so. And even if you have, do it again. Do it again. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. And goodbye.